Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Morning. Good morning, Victoria Tundu MQ Abiola.
Good morning.
And with some beads to go along.
Coral
beads, yeah. It reminds me of something I have at home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's for a special occasion. Now, let's start the review with this day. Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, Sanwo-Olu to Yoruba people. Consider Tinubu's aspiration your priority. Buhari explains why APC candidate announced partner in Daura, Lawan, Gbajabiamila, Northeast Caucus, back Shetima's peak. Linking ex-Borno governor to Boko Haram mischievous, says Sani. Northern Khan says it won't lose sleep over party's choice. Yes, Sanwo-Olu, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, the governor of Lagos State, yes, asking all Yoruba people, yes, Tundu, Ruben, Rufai, you should see Tinubu's aspiration as your priority. I just read this first sentence there. He urged the Yoruba people to see the aspiration of the All Progressive people, the All Progressive Congress APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as their priority to enable him actualize his dream of becoming Nigeria's president in 2023. Is this all about just a personal ambition? I would have expected to hear from somebody like Sanwo-Olu say Nigerians should vote for this man, BAT, Jagaban, because we, his followers, we, his successors, have transformed Lagos. I think that would have been a more nationalistic way to look at it than to say all Yoruba people should see it as a priority to enable him actualize his dream. Because when it becomes one man's ambition just to actualize it, as we have seen in the last 7 years and counting, somebody saying, I'm tired, I want to go home, then we won't achieve much. But there are other issues around that story, as reported in this day. Of course, the President Muhammadu Buhari, explaining why Bola Ahmed Tinubu had to announce his running mates at his residence in Daura. Of course, according to the president, well, the issue had already leaked out, so Bola Ahmed Tinubu had to announce it there. Yes, the president yesterday received the governors of APC who were at Daura, perhaps to also complain, yes, according to this report, to register their displeasure with Tinubu over the manner he announced Shetima, a former governor of Borno State, as his partner. However, the governors lamented to the president that they would have wanted one of them as sitting governor to pair with Tinubu. Yes, we mentioned that yesterday on this program, that these governors, of course, they were expecting payback time because of the support they gave Tinubu at the convention, but it was never to be, as we have seen. Now, other newspapers reporting this story. The Punch newspaper, Tinubu Shetima ticket, how Buhari doused governor's anger in Daura. We were surprised when Tinubu announced Shetima in Daura on Sunday. Bagudu, Lawan, Gbajabiamila, others endorse ex-Borno governor. Falai knocks Buhari. Now, the Daily Sun newspaper, Monarchs kudos for APC over Muslim ticket. But the Nation newspaper is reporting, the Nation, yes, Shetima's choice excites Buhari APC governors. That's the Nation newspaper. Bagudu El-Rufai, Fayemi, others. We are okay with Tinubu's decision. That's the response. Now, still on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, yes, the Vanguard newspaper now, yes, the same lead story about APC's Muslim ticket triggers mixed reactions. Now, the photograph and the story below the photograph. Here's first, the story, strike, enough is enough, Buhari tells ASU. Nasarawa governor asks state chapter to pull out, but the photograph there, not an accident, it was a deliberate one, because this photograph appeared on 3 other newspapers. The Sun, the Vanguard, and one other newspaper also has that photograph. Yes, Wike's son graduates from left. Of course, he needs to Wike and his family, but other newspapers like the Sun had the full photograph where you have Sheyi Makinde on one side. Yes, the Sun, if you put up the Sun there quickly. Yes, and of course, the governor of Abia State, Governor Okezie Ikpeazu, all with, now, at a time, students in Nigerian public universities don't know when they will graduate, to put it straight, because of the long-drawn ASU strike. I don't think it is proper to thumb this photograph on the face of Nigerians. Leaders should be more sensitive. And of course, look at the story underneath the photograph. The president saying enough is enough is telling ASU. But the Daily Independent newspaper reported that story, I think, in more detail in its lead story. 5-month strike, enough is enough. Buhari wants ASU. Says action may have generational effect on tertiary education. Church leaders say long strike shows insensitivity. If you read the president's speech there, it's like the writers of that statement simply lifted something from the thesis of a student, a postgraduate student in the Department of Education, on the impact of long strike on university students. Very unfortunate, but the president should not be telling us this. We expect him to take action and end the strike. Meet ASU halfway, perhaps. But if you read through this story, it's just like a thesis from a university student on the impact of strike on university students, talking about a generational effect. 5 months after the strike had started. But the president and ASU must bring this to an end. But the president is also asking those who are friends to ASU to help talk to the leadership. Ruben, perhaps you are one of the friends of ASU people. The president is asking all those who are friends to ASU officials to help, appeal to them. So please, you may just have to join that appeal, if that is all it will take to bring them back to the classroom.
ASU is simply telling the federal government of Nigeria, respect agreement.
Agreement, yes.
Pacta sunt servanda.
Yes, and of course they also mentioned
agreements are sacrosanct.
Whether
That's the message.
either UTAS or IPPIS, which should they use to pay them? The university teachers are saying use UTAS because of the defects in IPPS. Now, Sunak, let's look at the Times of London. Sunak vows to cut tax as support for trust grows. Johnson allies back foreign secretary campaign. Yes, Rishi Sunak will guarantee today that to cut taxes once inflation has fallen. So if inflation does not fall, no cut in taxes. Politicians, I see you are now rooting for Sunak to do, but I can tell you that the allies of Boris Johnson are preparing to announce their support for Liz Truss. Will that change anything? Maybe, maybe not. Ruben Rufai and Tundu.
It's all Boris Johnson's fault. since he broke no competition, he got rid of the real political heavyweights. That's why now Rishi Sunak is such a star, based on the dregs that he surrounded himself with. He does stand out head and shoulders, and because he's not telling porkies about how he's going to cut taxes that will not be funded. So he really does stand out. Liz Truss, you know my thoughts on her, slightly vacuous, I'm sorry. But she does have that experience of having that big office. Foreign Secretary, Boris Johnson was Foreign Secretary, went on to be PM. So I suppose that might be what she's trying to do. But I do think Boris Johnson and his allies are fighting so dirty because he's embittered by the way he had to leave the dream job, you know. So look at his bestie, what's her name? Nadine Dorries, who has been accused now of giving dirty doses to the press and to Labour. I mean, the whole thing is a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
Well, what is going on in the UK is quite interesting. You know, as I said earlier, off camera, it looks like it's Rishi Sunak against the others, particularly of the Tory right. And, you know, one report is saying that there is likely to be a shortlist of 4 by the second round, which would then be Penny Mordaunt, the trade minister.
I like her.
The former equalities minister, our own Kemi Badenoch. Then Rishi Sunak, third, and then Liz Truss, who is being supported by the likes of Jacob Rees-Mogg and others to counter Rishi Sunak. But I guess at the end of the day, by maybe this weekend, the list will have been whittled down, because the first step, which was agreed by the 1922 Tory Backbenchers Committee, is that you must get at least 20 nominations. So if you don't get 20 nominations, you're out. By Thursday, you must have up to 30 nominations. If you don't have up to that, you are out. So the team will be whittled down. And going forward, it's likely to be, some are predicting, a race between Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss. But I think what will save the Tories is that, you know, they will have to end up with a minister, a prime minister, that is less hateable or that is more likable than Boris Johnson. So if they are able to get such a person, then they may be able to survive, you know, in the next general election. But to go to the next general election with Boris Johnson, you know, so at the end of the day, it's not just about who takes the position, it's also about the fortunes and the future, you know, of the Conservative Party in Britain. And I hope we'll learn lessons from there, that when you are the leader of a country, it doesn't include the right to misbehave, you know, but I think the beauty of it is the parliamentary system that they have in the UK.
The system will checkmate you immediately.
Yes, maybe someday Nigeria should consider returning to the parliamentary system that we had in the First Republic.
I feel strongly
so that
about
we don't
that.
have this monarchical system.
Yeah, we need to go back
that
to
we
that.
operate under a presidential system.
It's the only way.
So far.
To a large extent, for me, in all of this, is the fact that Rishi Sunak might emerge, actually. So it's not just about we are supporting him or anything, or we want him to emerge. Because the British people, why did they vote Boris Johnson in the first place? They voted Boris Johnson because he was the only one that could give a definitive stand on Brexit. And he said I was going to get Brexit done. That was his campaign mantra. And he showed it.
Okay.
So they want certainty. So when it comes to matters of economy now, Rishi Sunak is the only one that is giving certainty. But will he be able to sail through the Conservative Party? Time will tell.
Well, thank you very much, Emmanuel Fene.